The Conservative Party suffered its worst defeat in its 200-year history in the July election, and we lost the Dorking Horley seat. The Liberal Democrats won it, or I should say they probably gained it because we lost it. I think that's more accurate. And there's so many reasons for this that I won't dwell on in this video that can go back over the 14 years, but quite simply the party at both national and local level needs to take responsibility for this and work out what we're going to do differently and how we're going to change. I can tell you there were so many people I knocked on the door of and met during the campaign that held Conservative values but just didn't feel they could vote Conservative in this election. And for that reason, they either voted Reform because they felt they were holding more of the values that they thought we should hold, or they voted Liberal Democrats simply to get rid of us, or they didn't vote at all. And I don't think it's useful to just say if we get the Reform vote back, yes, they got 7,000 votes with a candidate who was barely present and said anything or did any work, but we gave them those votes. And simply we need to look across the whole spectrum to work out how we gain the trust of people who either didn't come out and vote, who voted Reform, or who went to the Liberal Democrats because they simply thought it was time for a change. What we've got now is a huge weight on the left. So the Liberal Democrats are often more left than Labour. You've got the Labour Party, obviously, and you've got Greens. And we've got to really stand up for true Conservative values now and give some people another offer. And I think it's an offer that the country really needs if it's going to rebuild. How do we rebuild as a party, locally and nationally? Well, first of all, I've touched on it. We get hold of our key values and we make sure we integrate them into all of our messaging and everything we do, and we don't lose sight of them. We make sure we've got absolute discipline, so we run by rules. We make sure we operate with integrity and honesty, and people who aren't prepared to do that just shouldn't be part of the rebuild. We ensure our tone is positive and forward thinking. How are we going to solve problems? How are we going to deal with the challenges facing this country? There's no point looking backwards or inwards. We need to look forwards and with positivity. And we work from the ground up. That involves working with our members who help us build a Conservative presence, who help us understand what people want, who know what's going on in their areas and can feed us really important information. These are often people who come with all sorts of skills and experience. We must listen and we must demonstrate we have listened. And obviously we do the hard work. The Liberal Democrats certainly did the hard work and they deserve credit for that. They made sure, I thought too many leaflets went through doors, but they certainly got them through doors. They knocked on doors, they invested, they put the time in, and doing that hard work certainly pays off, as we've seen. Now, even if you are thinking you can't vote Conservative or you're put off at the moment, it's absolutely crucial that we do rebuild and that we rebuild on local levels as well as national levels. And the reason for that is holding those in power to scrutiny, accountability, and making sure that they deliver for you. Now, at the national level now, you've got a Liberal Democrat MP, you've got a borough council completely run by Liberal Democrats, you've got Liberal Democrats on the county. If no one's holding them to account and challenging them, I can promise you they will get complacent, they won't deliver, it becomes too easy. And I'm not just putting that on them, that happens with all political parties. I've seen it in my 20-year time as a local councillor, happening with Conservatives, we've seen it happen with Labour. That's just what happens. Opposition and challenge is vital to democracy, and the Conservative Party in Dorking Horley has a really strong role in doing that to make sure that you get the outcomes you need in this constituency. So I'm going to carry on doing that, and I really hope that members and those who support Conservative values will feel in time that they are able to come around this as well, and that we are really delivering true Conservatism.